Welcome to the new Workology Go Podcast. In just under 5 minutes, we'll get you the HR and workplace news you need before you start your day 2 times a week. Get ready, get set, and go with the new Workology Go Podcast.
Here are today's HR and workplace news headlines from the Workology Go Podcast. I'm Jessica Miller-Merrill. This podcast is sponsored by HSA Bank.
Employees with financial worries are 8.8 times more likely to have sleepless nights, 7.6 times more likely not to finish their daily tasks, and almost 5 times more likely to be depressed. Depression and stress impacts productivity, engagement, and increases healthcare costs by those employees as well as their families. These stats come from the Employer's Guide to Financial Well-Being. And the stats demonstrate just how important financial well-being is and how much of an impact it can have on your workplace. There are a lot of ways as leaders we can help support our employees who have financial stress and challenges. I'm personally an advocate of providing training for employees on how to save money and budget. Not everyone learns these skills, and as employers, it is something that we can provide in the form of a free lunch and learn or by offering an online training or a budgeting class. Maybe it's bringing in a financial coach to help with budgeting and planning or credit assistance and repair support for different families. Today's featured story is from HR News and is titled, Want to Support Your Employees' Financial Well-Being? I'll link to the article and the transcript of this Workology Go podcast. A lot of companies are offering work perks and benefits in this area too. There are technologies and companies that are focused on helping employees pay for their student loans and debt, but financial stress isn't just limited to young or college grads. Financial challenges are inclusive to us all. They impact young, old, new parents, part-time, full-time workers, blue-collar workers, white-collar workers, and seasoned parents who are sending their kids off to college. Financial programs don't have to be limited to budgeting classes like I recommended above. They can really be customized to the unique needs of your employees. They could be reimbursing employees for gas and commuter expenses or offering catered lunches in the office maybe once a week. These little perks and benefits can make a difference for your employees. In fact, many of you might have programs and benefits already like this in place. I think that sometimes we forget that we have these programs and maybe our employees just aren't aware that they exist. I'd like to encourage you to take a look at your usage and adoption rates of these special programs that are in place to help employees with budgeting and finance, those wellness perks and benefits. Maybe it is commuter program reimbursement or free parking or discounts on cell phone service and things like that. Take a hard look to see if there's anything more that we can do to improve our marketing and communication for these programs, for your employees. Can you do a special promotion campaign for employees or some additional communication to your managers as part of your new hire training program? Creating a holistic culture that helps identify and support employees is really at the heart of any type of supporting work perk or program. At Zappos, they call this their culture of service. I talked in a previous Workology podcast episode with Holly Delaney from Zappos, and she talks about what creating a culture of service is all about.
Our culture overall is to provide the best service, and that definitely goes to the employees as well. If we aren't able to provide a great environment for our employees, we couldn't expect them to provide a great experience for our customers. So they definitely go hand in hand, and it's one of our main objectives from a human resources or people operations standpoint to work to really provide the best environment we can for our employees.
How does this involve the business leaders? I mean, I know employees are responsible for culture and HR too, but what about the other managers and leaders within the organization?
So all of our departments in any area of the business they're guided by our 10 core values. And we really live and breathe those 10 core values. And within those 10 core values, if you look them up and read through them and what they mean, what they're about, it really is about people in general and providing the best environment we can. And that transcends through all of the different areas. So having really that formalized standard idea and guidelines of who we are and who we want to be and giving that out there for everybody and having the expectation that it is everybody's job, not one person's job to make that happen, I think has solidified some of the foundational aspects that we have around culture and bringing that culture across the organization from the frontline employee to leadership.
The American Psychological Association says that financial stress for Americans is at its highest during the holiday season, which probably doesn't surprise you. Chances are that maybe you're experiencing financial stress just like your employees during these times or throughout any time. Financial stress knows no time zone or boundary. Supporting your employees could be as simple as adding some financial planning books to the office lending library, or recommending a financial planning podcast, or by encouraging your employees to take time off and find outlets to help work out their stress. There are great ways to help support your employees in small but meaningful ways.
With health savings accounts, flexible spending accounts, health reimbursement arrangements, COBRA, and commuter benefits, HSA Bank is simplifying the health account experience for over 35,000 employers and 2.7 million members alike, inspiring everyone to own their health. Learn more at hsabank.com.
And that's this episode of the Workology Go podcast, sponsored by HSA Bank. We're your go-to for HR and workplace news. I'm Jessica Miller Merrill. Thank you for listening.
To learn more about the Workology Go podcast, subscribe to us on Apple, Google, and Stitcher. Our podcast is also available on Alexa and Google Home. Learn more at workology.com/Go podcast and access this episode's resources, links, and reports for more information.